Yo, I think we're live. What up? It's your boy Drew.
Yo,
I'm here with Layla,
good evening, everyone.
baby mama. Make sure you guys can hear me. Send them emojis my way. How do I see this chat? I've never done this on the phone before, so hopefully you guys can hear me. Wasn't feeling too good tonight. The baby's been crying all day. I'm really tired, but wanted to get on and chop it up with you guys. What's up? Oh, there we go, Emily. What's up? So I can see the chat now.
Oh, cool.
And
I can see
yeah. Uh, what do you want to talk about?
it. I don't know.
Let's go in a little bit on some gangs. Yeah, Davey just started a stream. He said, "Yeah, Davey knows Friday night is my night, man."
He's trying to steal your slot there.
Davey, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to compete with you, but I'm gonna be live tomorrow night with Davey Crocco on his channel. We're gonna talk about creeps and weirdos of YouTube.
Oh man, just endless,
We can start there a little bit
endless
tonight.
content.
What's up, Stilgar? What's up, RT Rich Sensei? Sweep, KBT said. So, yeah, I'm here with Layla. Beat the fuck out of her in Las Vegas.
Good
Retard,
times.
yeah, retard was on the internet. Paid $175 to pull up my record like a fucking retard. Didn't even get shit. Wasted
Yeah,
$175 and then mixed in another black guys with the same name as me in Las Vegas and said I beat pregnant women. And I've never even been to fucking Las Vegas.
EPT says he's seen the Vegas shot glass on my Instagram. Proof. It's proof.
Proof, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Caught
Caught.
red-handed there. Yeah, very that's ridiculous because I can type in like my name into the Google search bar and see just as much information as that. So why would you pay that much money
Yeah,
just to be
retard.
a weirdo?
And the guy literally made a scenario up in his head and said he got time off from work and him and his whatever baby's mom went to Las Vegas on a vacation. So he's saying that's where when you get pregnant, that's where you go for a vacation with a pregnant woman. Is the land of booze, cocaine, and hookers. That's how fucking dumb this
Yeah,
motherfucker is.
exactly. Um,
Smash that thumbs up for me. I'll go more in depth on that tomorrow with Davey on his channel. And I did want to mention too. Yeah, I did. I'm done working now. I finished my job. That shit's a wrap. I've just been kind of recouping today. It was kind of surreal to walk out of there after 13 years, and I just kind of went up front. I asked them how long before I get cashed out, like my accrued hours and then all the vacation time I have, and they told me how that worked, and I just kind of left early. And the song from the movie Blade was playing when I walked out. I was like, damn, this is pretty epic. Like,
that's
but
an exit right there.
yeah, so I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna move first and figure it all out. And uh, what do you want to talk about tonight?
Cost no. That's funny. Me, I don't have anything.
Okay, well, let's go into.
I'm just here.
I like the idea of like gang stalking, but more it being more of
Yeah.
kind of a spiritual type thing instead of it's not government agents following you around. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
in certain people's cases at sometimes, yeah, but it's probably like 5% or less of what people call gang stalking.
Yeah, I can definitely talk about that. I have a weird story that I still can't make sense of. So if I tell it, it might sound kind of discombobulated. And like, if anyone else has experienced something similar, like, feedback would be great because it's like just such a. I still think about it and feel like mind effed by it, really. So I mean, yeah, I can get into that if you want me to.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead, man? I see all the regulars in here. We got 33 people up in here, so that means it's time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So 20, I want to say like 2019 it was. Uh, I used to be, I used to be a spiritually like, I'm gonna just say like spiritually sick person. Like I wasn't in a great place, and I was into a lot of the Satanism stuff.
Tell us how it really went down.
Yeah, I'm gonna, cause whatever. I don't have anything to hide. I was into some pretty weird shit back in the day. Uh, So yeah, I mean, I was into that for a while, and like, I went to, I just wanted to change my life, so I kind of stopped doing, some of the weirder shit, and went to school to become in like a medical assistant. So I did that, and my teacher was like this Jamaican preacher lady, so it was a really like odd combination. She was really cool though, and she was like super in tune and like psychic, and she could like I literally watched her like read people's minds and like tell me exactly like what was in my head, which was like so weird to me. Um, and it freaked me out. So like I definitely felt like there was something like really special about her, and I ended up becoming really close with her. And I didn't want any of that really like dark, evil like stuff in my life anymore because it was making me like really depressed, sick, and just not a good time. So she ended up one day like I prayed with her and like we did some stuff like that, and it was really like it was a cool experience, honestly. But she she warned me. She's like, I didn't understand it like at the time. She's like, you need to really like be careful because forces of darkness out here don't like it when people like turn their back on it like that. And I was like, okay, like yeah, I get that. Like I'm good. Um, and then a week later, uh, I had um like somebody broke into my car, and actually they broke into every single car like on the block that I like lived on. And I didn't really think a whole lot about it at the time. The only thing they took out of my car was my backpack that had like all my school stuff in it, which I thought obviously like if you're gonna break into a car, like yeah, you're gonna go for that because there might be like some money in there or something. And everyone's car got hit too, so like I didn't really think there was anything special about it. And then like I was on a walk one day, and my neighbor came up to me, and she's like, "Hey, I just wanna like talk to you and make sure you're okay." And I was like, "Why? Like what? What's the problem?" And she asked me if she like thought anybody was targeting me, and I was like, "No, like why would they be?" And she said she was talking to like the cops that day, and it was weird because every single car got broken into, but they left cash in her car. Like they tore the whole thing apart. They didn't take anything from anybody else's car apparently, like on the entire block, just my car, like my backpack. Just had my school notes in it and didn't have anything like really special in it. And so like I thought that was really like weird. Didn't really make sense to me. Like why people would break into like every car, leave money and leave everything else and only take a backpack seems kind of dumb and like futile. And then after that, somebody started sending me like messages on Instagram. It always goes down on Instagram. I probably should just delete that account. I always get weird shit happen to me on there. They started sending me pictures of like voodoo stuff because I lived in South Florida at the time. We have a lot of the Haitian voodoo people that live up there. I get into some weird stuff. But they were sending me like pictures of like voodoo stuff, like candles, like chicken feet on papers and stuff. And I noticed like the papers were stuff from my backpack. And I was like, oh shit, that's kind of fucking weird. um, and then, yeah, they kept on doing that. And then I started getting like letters in the mail, like handwritten letters, like just weird stuff, like kind of like Bible quotes or stuff like, there's going to be a time when there's no more like suffering or death or just stuff like that, like cryptic, weird stuff. And then the same time too, my daughter, who was 3, I think 2 or 3 at the time, like there were cards in the mail for her too, handwritten, like from a secret admirer. It was just really, really creepy and concerning at that point. And then I was on a walk one evening, like it was probably a couple of days like after like I started getting messages and stuff. Um, and it was like kind of near sundown, like same walk I take every day. And I got to the point, like at the end of one of the roads, there was like a dude standing there that I've never seen before. And it felt weird immediately, like, because he was just like staring at me, just like looking at me. I tried to like just keep walking and not really pay much attention to it. Um, but then like when I turned the corner to go back, like he was still staring at me, watched me walk past him, and then he started walking like right behind me. Um, and at that point I was like, oh shit, this is like not good. There's like nobody out here. It's like almost sundown. There's never anybody. It was like an old people neighborhood. Like nothing ever goes down in that neighborhood. There's never anybody like around there. Um,
Was he Haitian?
no. He looked more like probably Mexican or something. Like that type. Not Haitian. Um, yeah, so he started like walking faster and then like I started fucking walking faster, so I was like, oh shit, like this isn't good. um and like I was trying to get to this like corner where I knew I could cut past like in my neighborhood. I never seen him before, so I was kind of hoping like maybe he didn't know the neighborhood that well. Um but then like at a certain point I was walking fast, he noticed I was walking fast and he just like bolted at me, like ran at me, like straight at me. So then I was like, fuck. So I had to run. And I was finally able to cut that corner and had to like jump over some neighbor's like fence and hide in a bush. And like I was able to watch him and he was like looking for me out there and I kind of waited till he got far enough away and like I bolted all the way home. Uh and it was like, yeah, obviously really really concerning and weird at that point. So I did end up like calling the cops and talking to them, which I don't really like to do that cuz the cops just kind of suck. They're pretty useless. But just to like have a case on it. So yeah, that happened and then literally like I think it was a few days after that I stopped taking walks obviously, but like I went outside like just to talk to my neighbor and like I started kind of walking towards like there's like a it was like an old people community, so it's like her house was here and then a little bit down the way there's like a clubhouse with like a pool and like books and stuff, like you could go in there. So I started walking towards there and this like white van pulled up and like pulled over and rolled down the window and like this guy like stuck his hand out. This might have been a Haitian now because it was a black hand, it wasn't a white person hand. Like, they stuck their hand out the window and they had a plastic bag in their hand and like when they rolled their window down it was like the worst smell ever. It smelled like roadkill but like 5,000 times worse than that. It was disgusting. And they started swinging the bag like back and forth and then they said my name. And at that point, I was like, no, I'm fucking getting out of here. And like, I went back, and like, at that point, I thought I was like losing my mind because they said my name, and I had never seen that car before, had no idea who that could have been. Um, I thought I was like going batshit. So I went and like asked my neighbor, like, do you see this van here? Do you see this? Because like, I feel like I'm going crazy. And she's like, yeah, like, it's there. So, um, yeah.
That's it or what?
No,
Oh, okay.
there's a way more. I'm just trying to remember it in like order because it didn't stop there. Those were like the major, like completely weird things. I kept on getting like notes in the mail though, like through that whole time. Just like, it's always a white
Kip
van.
said, "Could you smell the sores?" That's how you know it's a
I
Haitian.
know. Kip is from, I think you're from South Florida if I remember correctly. So like, yeah, you know what's up there.
What do you think it is? It's like demons, or do you think it's like
Yeah, because oh yeah, no, because it goes on. It doesn't end there because
okay?
there was this girl also in my school, which this was a Haitian, but she was always really cool with me. And then, like, around that same time, like, this was all pretty much happened in the same week. So that's kind of why, like, when I talk about it, it's kind of like jumbled because it all happened, like, really fast. But she was always really cool with me, didn't have a problem with her. But, like, I came to school that day and she was, like, really weird and quiet and kind of, like, shifty with me. And then, like, when I was walking out of the door, she, like, just went batshit and, like, tried to attack me and, like, grabbed me and stuff. And it was kind of a little bit of a scuffle there. And it was really weird. But yeah, I think it has to be, like, some kind of. I don't think it's government people that stalk you. I mean, obviously, like, they already know what you're up to anyway with all the tech. Like, you're already. I don't believe in, like, nanobots or anything like that. I don't think they need to go that far to, like, keep tabs on you. I think it's pretty easy for them to do, like, with the cell phones anyway. So I don't think it's like that. I think it must trigger some type of, like, chain reaction in people, like, if they're afflicted with certain, like, entities or demons or, like, spiritual sickness, because I was warned that, like, stuff was going to get weird if I, like, turned my back on that, and I did, and it got very weird for me, like, very fast. Um, So yeah, I think it has to. I don't know. It pisses something off for sure, but it's like it triggers it in other people. Like it's like some type of chain effect, as far as I can tell. And then you'll see it like start popping up in other people, and like how they react to you.
So you think it's just like almost like some Agent Smith type shit, but with like
Yeah,
some intelligence that
yeah. Christina
takes
says
over
too.
some weak people or some shit.
Yeah, I think that is what it, and it has a lot to do with my teacher. It really does. I don't know who exactly she was in like the spirit, like is in the spiritual realm, but like she's some kind of like something because it's like she prayed over me. And I mean, I don't even want to get into like the God and Satan stuff because I know like people kind of, but like,
Oh, the YouTube people are nuts about God and Satan.
yeah, I know, and I don't really want to get into all that like conversation anyway, but like, yeah, I definitely believe in a God and like, good and evil, I'll just put it that way. So that stuff is definitely real to me and I've experienced it enough on both sides. But yeah, she like set off some type of like spiritual chain reaction, which to be honest, it hasn't really ended for me. Like it's just changed a lot, but like all the yeah, I don't know how to say it, but like the Bokura stuff, I don't even want to say his name, but like that stuff kind of felt similar because he was like spiraling on the internet, and then at the same time, like other people just started spiraling like all around me, and like it just seems like it all happens at once for some reason, and it just like if you're not mentally or spiritually like living in alignment with, you know, what you say you believe in, I feel like those are the kind of people that get dragged down by that and lash out. They're susceptible. They're just so impressionable, I guess, is more of a better word.
Yeah, it's like they're delusional and they like believe their own lies, basically.
Well, the worst ones are the ones that do believe in their own lie. It's like those are the sickest ones. Honestly, the most dangerous ones. They're completely delusional, and like I've seen people convince themselves of that. Like the darker they are, the more metallic they smell, like a can full of pennies. Yeah, it do be like that. I'll
That's
tell you
funny.
though, Haitians, they can be crazy, but the good Haitians are really cool. Like I know some super cool Haitians. They're just
We
different.
don't have Haitians here in Minnesota. We have Somalians. We have Hmongs. We don't have Haitian. I mean, I'm sure there's a few, but
But
not like there.
yeah, our Haitians make your Somalians look so like weak though. Our Haitians are just the different kind of person. They don't give a fuck about anything. They're crazy. They're funny though.
What do you think about like Jesus?
Oh man. uh I
The name of Jesus has
I it
power.
does. No, I was gonna say because that's what my teacher prayed over me in the name of Jesus, and like she was some kind of like demon fighter or like something like that because
Blade.
yeah, she pulled this like little can of like oil out and like anointed me with it and prayed, in the name of Jesus over me and everything. And like I believe in the power of that for sure because right after that happened, like so much stuff kicked off. And yeah, I lived with my mom at the time, and I'll say that too. Like it became increasingly difficult to live with her because I think she was, well, I know for facts, like she was afflicted with, you know, probably a lot of spiritual sickness. So she was a drug addict. So it became like really difficult. And I didn't really talk, I didn't tell her like any of that like stuff that went on. But she just got like really irate and, you know, started also lashing out in ways that like were very uncharacteristic for her. Like, because when she was pretty much a happy drunk and happy high person, like not ever known to have like violent behavior, but she did start to get violent with me. And there were some altercations there, and it was just not a good time.
Do you think that these people, like, you said they have like a demon? Do you think the demon, like, basically what you're saying is like the demon lashes out at you because
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, because I think that's how they work. Like you, how to explain it? Like they need you to manifest basically. So let's just say I was into like the black magic stuff, right? So it's like at that point, you think you're like this really powerful person, and I think all of that stuff stems from anger because it makes you feel like, you know, you're in control of something and in your life basically. So the you're not really powerful at all. Like they just need you to manifest. So it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna get what you want and be able to see things. Yeah, the demons are in your own mind for sure. It gets a little more like psychological, but I'm just kind of trying to talk about the general like surface stuff. You know, that makes a little more sense. Um, but oh yeah, my train of thought kind of derailed.
you're saying they need you to manifest.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like there's no personal power for yourself. It's just they need you to be able to live. They live through you basically. And then when you like what I experienced anyway, like when I pulled back from that, there was a big pushback because they don't want to lose that. Um and it definitely can like, you know, I don't know, some people don't believe in that stuff. Like God is a distraction, which to an extent, I guess you could say God is a distraction. It depends on like for me it depends on what how you're like talking about God or like, you know, what your idea of God is and how you're using it really. I wouldn't really think about it in like the religious sense because I don't really mess with like the religions anymore, you know.
You could say everything else is a distraction from God.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, that this is yeah. I guess you could say it that way. Um but it's dangerous. Like you know, it got dangerous for me. I don't know what would have happened like if I wasn't able to get away from that guy. I don't know what would have happened to me. Like that could have been really really bad. So it's like you mess with that stuff and you think, you know, it's going to be cool, but like it can get very dangerous, like the spiritual realms and stuff when you start messing around with that. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, shout out to the chat. We got 61 people up in here with Layla. We're doing a blackout stream. Just laying here on the couch using the phone. I've never really streamed through the phone before.
Yeah.
Kind of cool actually because the baby's sleeping in the room. The baby had a rough day today.
Yeah,
I'm
see,
tired and I don't feel good.
oh, totally. Yeah, I don't want to point that out too. When I'm talking about God and like the devil, I'm not talking about like biblical characters. I'm just using those terms because they're easy to like digest, you know. Um, I didn't really want to get into the whole Bible like conversation. You know, I'm talking about good and evil in the way I understand them, and I do think it kind of goes more into like your psyche, and those are like characters that you have to face and meet in yourself and work through in yourself. So there's gonna be times when you're Satan and you're acting that way and you're doing like, you know, evil things because everyone's capable of some pretty fucking awful stuff. And then like God as well, you know, and you work through that stuff. So yeah, it's all just you. It comes down to you, you know. But I think it's more than that too. Like, to me, there's layers to it. Like, yeah, it's you, but I think it's also something else as well. But I
It's
think
got to be
it's
an external like egregore or something like an intelligence as well, though
yeah,
that it works through. That's
yeah,
what it seems like to me. Like
yeah.
I always talk about, I had that stream where I was in the St. Paul Cathedral. I think it's still on my page. You guys go check it out. And I was in that St. Paul Cathedral just live streaming, and then I started pointing out these like Baphomet faces in the marble, and like the instant I did that, it's like this lady became possessed and came up. She worked in the church, and she came up and was basically telling me I needed to leave. Like she didn't hear me say what I was saying, so it was almost like yeah, like that intelligence or whatever
Yeah,
hijacked her or something, and then she came at me like right
yeah,
at that moment in real time.
yeah, definitely. And I think that's how it happens too. Like it's just you're doing something, and then these like entities or whatever you want to call them, like they hear it and they will lash out at you. You know, they'll latch onto it. Yeah, no, there's no video. It's a blackout stream.
Is
It's
everyone saying the screen's black?
yeah,
It's just a
yeah.
Haitian in front of the camera. That's all. It's called Blackout Stream. Can you guys? You gotta extrapolate. There's nuance here, baby.
Yeah,
It means I'm not ready. I'm not pretty enough for the stream tonight.
no, we've been
I don't have
dealing
the bows in the beard.
exactly. We've been dealing with a baby all day. We're tired.
Yeah, the
We've
baby
been
had a rough day.
yeah.
I had a rough day. I just don't feel good, man. I feel really tired. I think I'm still like decompressing from the work and trying to
Oh,
process the fact that I even left that place finally.
yeah, it's the Costco detox. Totally.
Anyone got any like questions or anything you want us to go in on? I'll try to think of something else. But
Yeah.
then yeah, that's what seems like what's going on now. We're trying to change our lives for the better and do different things. And now I got this fucking weirdo on the internet on YouTube stalking me.
Yeah, that's what it is. Every single time I want to point out like that I've tried to make a big life-changing decision, some weird stuff like this happens and it's like I don't even like I don't want to say gang stalking, but like some type of stalker stuff happens to me. Like somebody starts following me, watching me, and like that stuff didn't even end there. Like that's just the tip of the iceberg, kind of. Like it kept going on, and like um, that's what it feels like now too. Because then it's like I don't even know because I've been getting a lot of weird messages like on all fronts that I can't even I don't know. Like I think maybe they're all from you know Volcura, but I don't also think they all could be. And it's like, I don't know
Yeah,
though.
they are.
Like, I mean, yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
he's
he
a
probably
bitch.
has like sock accounts everywhere and stuff like that, but it's just
That
really,
Kevin Mooring dude said he heard him on Clubhouse running ops on Clubhouse. I don't. You got to screen record that, bro.
yeah,
That's
that's
Matt's boy
interesting.
though. That's Matt's boy. So
Yeah,
we
it's
gotta
Santeria.
we
Yeah.
gotta ask like why are these people so unhinged all in the same way? So the same way I see that dude unhinged, then Truthless had the same like mo, and then Davies stalker, what was that dude's name with the rap, Harlot, they all have the same MO where they all have multiple stock accounts and they all talk to themselves. Like, what's going on that they all have the exact same, like,
Oh,
unrelated people, but the same actions and everything?
Mark says they have the internet demon. Hell yeah, they have the internet
Well,
demon.
they're obsessed with the internet and they live on the internet.
The internet's their like reality. I feel like it's more real to them than their real life. Like I can't imagine sitting on my phone or computer all day like seething over something someone said about me on the internet. Like
Yeah,
to me the internet's not even real. Like I just think this shit's funny.
that
Like
ruthless dude made a video about me. This motherfucker was on the beach in Australia walking around making a video talking about me. Like, dude, I could only dream of being on a beach in Australia.
yeah,
This guy,
right.
rather than enjoying his day, is like seething over me walking around on the beach. So, but
Yeah, I don't know who takes it that seriously. Like it's the internet. Like don't you have a life outside of that? Like
yeah, internet demon. That's a good.
it is an internet demon and
Yeah. Listen, I got to backpedal a little on Aphrodite because I don't see Aphrodite having the same MO as these people, where these people all have multiple sock accounts and chat amongst themselves with their socks. I don't see Aphrodite doing that. Aphrodite
no.
will come up in this on her own account and talk shit. So I think I'm gonna unblock Aphrodite. She was pissed me off that one night, but I'm gonna actually unblock her because as crazy as Aphrodite is, these people are even crazier.
Yeah, like shout out to her for not being a weirdo with like, cause she is who she says she is. I feel like the other people are like really like trying to hide something about their character and themselves. Like I don't really feel like Aphrodite's trying to hide anything.
Yeah, she's batshit, but at least she owns it. Like,
She's who she says she is. She's just herself. Like she's not.
and these people have all these different
If it's not real, then why be here? Kelly, Cable, or Kibo, and sorry if I said that wrong, says the internet or like life. I don't know which one you're
If
talking
the
about.
internet's not real, the internet is not real. It's
I mean, okay, obviously it's a real thing because it exists and we're like interacting on it, but is it more important than your life? Because some of these people I've seen act like it's like a life or death thing and they're going after you in real time, like trying to cause legal trouble or get you fired. Like,
yeah,
how
they're bringing it into
can
the real world for things that you've said on the internet, and they're
not even
contacting
serious
your
things?
job and all this other shit trying to cause problems for you. They don't want you to even be able to eat because you just said something about them mean on the internet that they perceived as
Yeah.
mean. Like that's beyond crazy, man. And I gotta ask, man, like what? Why are they like Matt students? Why is that out of bounds for some people? For me to ask, why are Matt students this unhinged? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there something to his philosophy that nothing's real? Is that dangerous to people? Because they're all, why do they all act like that?
Yeah, I didn't really know a whole lot about Matt before you, but from what I've heard from him, he just sounds like a complete relativist in like all senses of the word. Like he thinks there's really no,
I think
it's
he's a
all malleable.
determinist.
Like determine, oh, yeah, I guess like determinist, but it's like everything's like malleable. Like to him, it seems like, which really blurs the lines of like what's right and wrong.
I sometimes think he just makes videos just to like make videos. I don't know if he has a set in stone like beliefs because it seems like it's always changing. Some of the things that he says, but I don't. And then the people. That's what I'm saying though. Is like the reaction of people for me to ask that question is seems irrational
Yeah,
to notice a pattern and call it out in the way that people act for pointing that out.
I think it's because they have like the same character struggle or like I was gonna say defect, but I mean I don't know these people enough to like know that, but I mean I don't know. They probably have like the same spiritual sickness, I would assume, because I feel like that's why when you I don't know, like when you point something out or like you try to do something, like they all come at you at once with like the same stuff, and they kind of sound like a broken record, you know,
Yeah, that's
echo
true.
like it's an echo chamber basically. But yeah, yeah, the screen. I keep on saying someone else said about the black screen. There's no video. It's just the black screen tonight.
Am I funded by the CCP? Shh. Don't spill the beans, EBT.
Yeah.
I'm sponsored by viewers like you. Shout out to See Me Rolling. I just like to get on here, man, like interact with you guys, and then hopefully once I move and I get everything settled out, then I can have a more structured like stream schedule and like prepared videos and be able to go harder on this YouTube thing. For sure, I want to do that. Right now, I'm kind of busy with the baby. Oh, Fringe Files is in the house. What's up? What up, Fringe?
Yo.
I like working with Fringe because Fringe has skills as well, where she can do the graphics and the she makes those little stingers and all that. I don't know how to do any of that. I know how to do the graphics, but she knows how to do like even more stuff than that. So
Her stuff is cool.
yeah, it's nice to not have to do every single thing.
Yeah. You got anything else? Any more questions?
Yeah. What do you
What?
guys got, man? 33 minutes in. Rich, shout out to Rich.
Yeah,
Uh,
screw the job for real. Screw that job.
Yeah, the job, and that's another thing about that bitch is he says before he talked all this shit like, "Oh, I have this job that's like a job he did when he was 16, stocking shelves." He talked mad shit about it, and now he's talking mad shit that I'm leaving it. He's like, "Oh, how dare this guy leave a job when
Oh.
he's got a newborn baby?" It's because he wants to have control over me. He wants to be able to call my job or
Oh, because they're
email
trying
my
to get you
job
fired.
or whatever. Yeah, and he thinks that he's able to exert control over me by doing that. And that guy,
I
he's
mean,
just a bitch, dude. That's all there is to it. A dumb motherfucking bitch too.
yeah, I would say like the more you ignore him, the better it'll be because he's begging you for shout outs. Like he's
Oh
that kind
yeah,
of demon entity that just needs you to look at it
he
all the time
looks
and
like a
like interact
motherfucking
with it to
demon.
give it life. Like, yeah, he's creepy. We don't need that. Like Yeah, he's in my DMs on Instagram and thinks I don't know what his account is, and he's like, it's just
That's the
weird.
thing. He thinks he's so smart. He's actually a fucking retard.
Yeah, it's just entertaining to me at this point. Like I don't take it
And that's
seriously.
what we're saying though about the internet not being real. Like, imagine being that obsessed over some shit on the internet that you stalk people onto other platforms and shit like that. Like, to me, it's not that real. Like, if someone says, "Oh, something about
Yeah.
Drew," like, okay, whatever. Like, it's just the internet, you know.
Like try to cause a problem and send somebody like over to this house. They're not gonna do shit because there's not shit going on over here. It's pretty boring to be honest, you know.
Yeah, and I'm
But
sorry, my criminal record wasn't as dangerous as you wanted it to be. I drove
oh,
79 and a
listen,
55.
no,
See, and that shows he's not a fucking researcher at all either, because he makes up a scenario in his head and then says, "Oh, I wonder if this happened. That's why it's a misdemeanor." No, it's a misdemeanor because it's more than 20 over. Where you could go on the internet, you could look that up, and you could confirm that. But
yeah,
they don't want to do that. They just want to grasp at straws and
yeah. Two things. First is to me that's really sick because that means this guy is on the internet trying to dig up stuff because he'd be happy if he found out you were like a child abuser or a woman beater. Like
oh,
that would
he'd
make
love
him
it.
happy that people got hurt.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, he would love that. Think about how sick that is.
Th-
That someone would have gotten
yeah,
hurt and he would have taken joy in that.
pleasure in that basically to like see because I saw him pull up like the records and it's like oh there was no like sex offender stuff in here. It's like he would have freaking loved that. That makes
Yeah,
him a
he
sick fuck.
totally would have loved it.
And also I just want to say where was it? Fringe said she's self-taught artist. That's the best kind of artist.
Yeah, me
So
too.
if you're don't even worry about being professional because you develop your own style. Like yeah, that's the best to me. Honestly, I'm self-taught as well.
What else? I was gonna say something before I started talking about that dude again. I
Yeah, I'm
don't
gonna talk
remember.
about that dude. He's not gonna do. He can't do shit. There's not even. I don't know.
He's too dumb.
These people just need you to look at them. They're like, that's all they live for.
Yeah,
They live for the internet.
internet demon. I like that term. It's
Yeah.
got to be something to that though. The way these people get obsessed. What are we at? 37 minutes. EVT
Jinx.
says I'm a self-taught slumlord. Shout out to Obadiah.
We all
Thank you,
start
brother.
somewhere, EBC. Um,
And then I will go in more detail with that tomorrow with Davey Crockle. I'm gonna ask him if he really thinks that Gab, or what is it called, Gabby Petito. I'm gonna ask him if he thinks that's real.
oh yeah, doesn't he like the true crime stuff?
Yeah,
He's like
he,
one of those middle-aged women that watches the true crime. That was like
yeah,
my mom. She was
the
obsessed with
ID
that shit.
network.
Yeah, that was on all the time, like 24/7 in the house.
I'm at the point where I think none of those serial killers or any of that is real. I'm sure there's been serial killers. Don't get me wrong. What the definition of a serial killer is? Person that's killed more than what, two or three people or something. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying the dramatization ones they made for TV.
Oh yeah, no, that's yeah. If it's on TV like that and pushed and like the like true crime channel is obviously fake. Like yeah, those people are sitting there talking about watching their family members be like dismembered and they're just chill like, yeah, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
none of that shit is
whatever.
real. And then also this thing for the last year and a half or more, that makes me realize all the other ones of the past are probably 100% bullshit as well. Everything
Yeah.
they tell you from even from hundreds of years ago, that shit is probably at the very least grossly exaggerated.
Yeah, exactly. The Silent Hunter says, "Does anyone on here actually live?" Yeah,
Live
yeah, I
what?
live like live life. Like yeah, I live life. I mean, like yeah, I went through some shit and got over it, so now I'm like happy about life. So that's why I'm not sitting here obsessing over the internet. I got way too like I've been through way too much shit to give a fuck about any of this stuff. A good number of high profile ones had some MK Ultra and occult links. Yeah, they definitely do. Like it's all there with the serial killers and such.
I think
If you
none of
look
them are
into that.
real.
But what I was gonna say, no, you have the links, but I think that's honestly ties into what we're talking about. It needs you to look at it. Like these things need you to look at it. That's how they live.
Yeah,
It's there for you to look at and connect it.
And Christina says it's all about fear. That's what it's all about too. Yeah, it's like the
Yes.
generation of the fear. All these things generate these low frequencies in you. All the mass media.
Yeah, these things can't live, like these demons, whatever you want to call them, cannot live unless you are interacting with them. That's how they manifest and have power. And like if you encounter a really powerful one, it's because you've got something very evil in yourself because it's like a mirror, and that's how they work and like latch onto you. In the name of Jesus, you cast that shit out. Gabby Petito.
Gabby
Yes.
Petito is on the Epstein flight logs. I wouldn't even doubt it at this point if it really
No.
was. But yeah, and then Hushy was on like the Sandy. She had that video about the Sandy or whatever. Like,
Oh
oh man,
yeah.
like it just ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
The more and more you look at, that's why I don't even look into any of these like conspiracies anymore or any of these things. That's why I was like, man, I'm really tired, but I want to go live. Like it's just like it's a
Word.
habit for me now, to go live on Friday night. So I'm like, what do I talk about? Because I don't even like look on these. I don't even look on the forums anymore or any of that stuff. Like,
Yeah. It's
because
boring. It's all the
yeah,
same
it's like
stuff. It's nothing new.
yeah, they just recycle the same stories. I saw they had Joe Biden was going to print $1 trillion coin to pay off the debt. Like that story's being recycled. They ran that with Obama. I covered
Yeah.
that before. They ran it again with Trump. Now they're running it again with Biden. It's like, okay, why am I even looking at this shit? It's the same recycled stories like every couple years.
It's never gonna end. You just gotta get off of that like train and never look back. It's the same stuff.
Yeah,
Mm,
somebody, I don't remember who it was, but there was somebody said they kind of like vibrated out of the truth community recently, and that's kind of how I feel too. It's like none of this conspiracies or anything, none of them really excite me anymore because it's like nothing ever happens. Just slowly gets worse.
yeah, these people are getting like crazier too. Like way more unhinged. Like
Who? What
a
people?
lot of the people in the truth are like not that they
Oh yeah, they're nuts,
not
dude.
saying y'all in the chat. I'm not saying that, but
No,
like
there's some though that I
just
fucking like that Krakows boy, the harlot dude. What?
oh, with that fire rap he came out with.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah, he was
bars.
spitting.
Like, does he think that that's good, or is he a troll, or I don't get it.
He was probably wasted and like doesn't even remember doing it, or he's really proud of it. Either one. I don't know.
And I don't get like why last stream with Fringe, why that dude was coming at me. Like I've never ever had a problem with that dude. So because he has a problem with Davy Crockett, like he comes at me.
Yeah, they
Very
don't.
weird.
It is weird. Like I don't know, because they live on the internet. Like that's all. That's where they get their. Yeah, he's really proud of it. He probably is really proud of it. It's probably like the defining moment of his life right there.
He did call him Cracko. That was kind of funny.
Yeah,
He said
I
Cracko.
mean, I don't know. That was hard. It was hard to watch.
And I think that dude has money. Like how the fuck does that dude have money somehow?
I don't know. He looked like some redneck doing. I don't know.
Silent Hunter said I spoke to Ruthless recently. Like I said, he's on the beach of Australia, like seething about me. Like, dude, live your life, bro. Like, I could only
Yeah.
dream of being on a beach in Australia. I wouldn't be thinking about any of these internet people if I was there. I'd be doing shit.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Teddy Bear talking shit. Let's see what he says. CBO trying to elude the idea that he has ascended. Does he mean ascended? Beyond the truth is a little pathetic. He just be humble to the fact that he knows very little and should try to find passion to do great work. I don't know if English is your first language because that was kind of broken up and I'm not sure what you meant. He just be humble to the fact that he knows very little. I don't know what that means.
I'm kind of gonna take. I don't know. I take it as he's saying like none of this stuff really matters. You don't need to know anything about this stuff if you like have a passion and pursue that and don't worry
Oh, is he
about this
not
stuff.
talking shit? If you're not talking shit, my bad.
I mean, I don't know. Sounds like he could be, but at the same time,
That's what I'm saying.
who
It's very
cares?
choppy, like a
Yeah,
second language or something.
yeah.
Maybe refine your shit talk and I'll respond to it because I can't really make sense of it. EBT says, I think Harold is hilarious. Y'all have zero discernment.
He says you're talking bad about yourself.
Oh, I'm saying it doesn't interest me anymore. That's all I'm saying about the like conspiracies and all that type of stuff. Like, because I've looked at them for so long that they're now just being recycled. I've seen them recycled once at least already. All these major stories have come and gone once, and they came back again, and now they're coming back like a third time, like that Biden one I'm talking about. I'm like, okay, why am I wasting my
Oh
time looking at
yeah,
this?
yeah.
And like I said, man, I've been watching those resellers, man. To me, those reseller guys are, think about it. Who's affecting their reality more? You got a guy like Matt with 80,000 subscribers, and you have a guy named Froggy Flips that also has 80,000 subscribers. Who's affecting the matrix of their reality more? Matt sitting alone in the basement just making videos, doesn't get money for it. I'm sure he gets some donations, but he's basically working for YouTube for free. Or this Froggy
Yeah.
Flips guy who's using all the time he spent learning what's valuable and what to buy, what to pay it for it, and how to sell it, and how much it's worth. And that guy's going out hitting garage sales and making tons of money on just the eBay alone, and then add on top of that, then a successful YouTube channel making tons of money. So whose time was spent better learning things? Somebody studying like mysteries or conspiracies, or somebody that was learning tangible things in the real world that you can apply to your own life? That's the way I'm looking at it now. That's why I would rather just watch that type of content right now, or not necessarily just garage sale things, but different reseller things, or just gain knowledge on that base, because that's real world stuff that you can go and do right now, instead of just armchair philosophy where you don't even leave your house and nothing comes of it.
Mm.
T-shirts is the new crypto. Ivar says, I do want to make what do you call them? Like NFTs. Like I saw they have this thing where it's like socks. They're like NFT socks or something. There's only like 50 or something, and then you can buy the NFT, and then eventually people can cash the NFT in and they get the socks. I was like, that would be a good idea, but for T-shirts where people can buy and collect the NFTs and eventually trade them in for the shirts, and it'd be like hype drop shirts NFTs. So I'm gonna look into that. I don't know much about how to do the NFTs though.
I don't know, but it'd be pretty cool.
What else are they saying? Nibiru. Oh, I got more on the overlays if that's what Teddy's talking about. Yeah, yeah. Let me speak on that for a second, because I would like to do more stuff like that, and kind of ditch the current event, which I haven't for a while. I've been talking about current events, and that was one of that uh, fake Indian pigeon pecker. That was one of his complaints about me, is, oh, he used to do current events. And also Matt said the same thing. Like, they don't like when I don't stay in that lane, and they want me pigeonholed in that lane. I don't want to do current event things. So I don't mind doing the live streams and everything. And I wouldn't probably, maybe I don't know if I want to do that on the backup channel or not. I'll think about that. But I want to do more like timeless type videos, like the overlays and all that. And I have more. I just haven't never made videos on them yet, because I'm always so busy working and everything. And now I'm gonna be busy moving and everything. But once that's done and I have the time, I'll definitely be bringing out more of that stuff for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll have more energy to do things you actually care about.
Yeah, and I won't have to go to bed at 9 at night. So
Ooh, shouting at clouds. I like that idea because I'm obsessed with books. I
what
have
do
a
you
lot of.
say?
He says have a bookstore, collect old and rare books, and teach young people about history when they come into your store. Rare books are the greatest bargain. Yeah, books are dope. I have some books from like the 1800s and stuff that I would never like part with. They're like they're so cool.
I have a sick Bible from 1933
Yeah,
that I
that's
got
it's
at a garage
really
sale
nice.
for a
Books
dollar.
have COVIDs. Well, yeah.
Everything does.
Everything is the cooties today
And
anyway.
cooties.
Yeah, online is probably where it's at right now anyway, because
For
like,
what, making money?
well, Fringe said sell them online though.
Oh
It's
yeah.
expensive to maintain a store, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can't, brick and mortar store you can't have anymore, and they just wiped that out with the cooties. Like,
Yeah,
no more, unless
they're
you're a
gonna attack you.
corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Only the corporation can survive that. No more mom and pop anything.
Sad. That's the best stuff
Yeah,
ever.
there was an awesome little like there was still one left here where I live, like a video rental store where you could go in and rent DVDs and video games, and it was really cheap. I'd bring my kids there and we'd rent a movie or something, you know. And that's gone now because of the cooties.
Mm,
So kids growing up already didn't know that, you know, it's basically was gone, but now it is
oh,
gone. There's none of that is
yeah,
left.
that makes me sad for sure. Well, that's why the old books to me are cool though, because it is like a piece of history that they're trying to erase. So I think it's really valuable to have stuff like that if you do.
Yeah, eventually it will be. They'll burn them all. They'll find you and
Yeah, exactly. Guy Freeman says, I found a huge Masonic Bible doing a house clean out. I used to have like the coolest, like old, it must have been from like the early 1900s, like Mason book. When I was in high school, I found it at like a garage, not a garage sale, it was like a church rummage sale for free. I found it and my mom hated it and she threw it away when I was out of the house.
because
So
your
I
mom
was
was a
so sad.
Catholic.
Yeah, she thought I was like doing some weird stuff, like black magic stuff, which I did get into that stuff anyway eventually. But at that time, I was just reading the book because it was cool.
And I found a
Jessica
uh
Jane has the bows.
oh yeah. Well, shout out to
Shout out.
Jessica Jane. I found a Freemason encyclopedia at the Goodwill bins. Apparently it's a two-part set. I didn't know that. I only found one. I would have kept looking if I knew it was two. It's like this huge book from like the maybe 1920s or something. I think I paid like 60 cents for it. And they go for like $50 on eBay.
Yeah, she was right. Well, Mama was right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I
see?
think that's what he's talking about. No, she was right. I don't know if you were here for like the beginning of it, but I did definitely talk about that.
All right,
So
man.
she knew what she was
We're
doing.
coming up on an hour. Anything else you want to?
It's been an hour.
Almost.
Wow.
So, gang stalkers, basically spiritually weak people
Power in the name of Jesus.
that
That
get.
stuff, I don't care really what you believe in. There is some type of power in that, and I've like witnessed it firsthand for myself, you know. Um,
These people just get taken over, though, right? When you're trying to.
you say that name and some people literally just flip shit on you for no
On
reason.
Jesus?
Yeah, like
Why?
if you're
Because
talking
they're full
about
of
it.
demons?
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, and like I said too, I'm not even like trying to talk so much biblical terms. It's just the way like I understand things in my head from like my personal experiences. It's an actual reality breakdown if you've experienced it. Well, yeah, definitely. That's what it felt like for me. It was wild. I don't even think it's completely stopped yet.
These are low level demons.
Oh, no, I was gonna say the stuff I dealt with in like 2019 and 2020 with that kind of thing um, makes the like people like Bokura look like complete child's play. Like that's not even serious to me. I mean, the stuff I dealt with was actually very serious.
Yeah, I feel like after I had to rebuild my whole life after my marriage and everything, I feel like I can withstand almost anything. Like, all this
Oh,
other shit
yeah.
is so weak.
Yeah, that's the thing.
To
That's, yeah.
lose your
Mm.
kids and lose your house and everything. And
When you go through some serious shit in life, like you
yeah,
can't worry about this stuff anymore because it just does not affect you. That's how I feel as well. It's like this. I've been through so much. I'm way too grown for this stuff. I don't have time for this.
for real.
Way too much to do and see.
And man, and I think this week I want to make a video. I won't give it away because someone will probably steal it. But I'm gonna work on a prepared video since I'll have the time, and then maybe I'll do some more streams in the next few days once I get more time. But thanks to everyone that was in here. I guess I'll shut it
Yeah.
down. I don't want to just keep rambling and rambling.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening to me and my incoherent story at the beginning. I hear the story way better in my head than when I tell it, and then I forget like important parts, which I'm sure I did. But thanks for bearing with me.
And yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks to everyone for your time. I appreciate you guys. And I'll be back next Friday night for sure, maybe somewhere else in the meantime. Oh, yeah, and I'll be on Krakow tomorrow night. Peace out.